what MSBI is. See, the very first thing is MSBI is an advantage for us is it's a Microsoft product. Okay, so Microsoft products, like you have many other products, like if you are talking in terms of software industry, if you are into a web application development, so most of the technology is dependent on .NET, developing front end as well as back end, right? ASP.NET, C++, C Sharp. So this is all coding, hard. I mean, it is all about working very logically when it comes to .NET. It is manual coding. Where in MSBI, it is not a very much manual coding. It is dragging and dropping. Yes, we need also to have SQL with MSBI, and the reason I will tell you why. And are we going to cover SQL? Yes, we are going to cover. I will come to it very soon. And you have, see, everything, Microsoft is have released a lot of products like MS Suite it has, Office it has, Video it has, Excel it has. Most of the cases we work on Excel as well as an MSBI developer. So many things are there as a Microsoft products. With that said, Microsoft is a company on which many of the tools are relying on. Okay, and it is giving support to most of the tools in order to, let's say, for any kind of support. And most of the cases, what happens is, you see, there are a lot of technologies like our one of our friends was telling, Informatica and data stage. So you actually have to think how many that company have implemented kind of products. Okay, so if it is a third-party company or it is a independent software like Informatica, I will tell you what is the difference. First, let us understand. See, people said it's a business intelligence. Yes, it's a business intelligence. What do you mean by business intelligence? It means providing intelligence to the business, irrespective of the fact which business you are into. It can be oil and gas, it can be retail, it can be utility, it can be supply chain, it can be banking, it can be insurance, it can be health domain. Any domain you come from, intelligence is very important to a business. For an example, let's say there is a retail shop. Let us take an example of US. Okay, so let me explain you why and how. Actually, the ETL should come in, reporting should come in. So let me tell you, in MSBI we have few tools, few modules. It is consolidated of 3 different modules, guys. Okay, one module talks about ETL. ETL in the sense extraction, transformation, and loading. So what do you extract? You extract the information or data from different systems. In real time, we are looking for solutions in terms of extracting the information from different systems. And the reason behind is, let's say you're working for a company and that company have acquired another company. Okay, so in order to integrate that company data to your company data, you have to have some common platform in between which can interact with that system as well as our system and get things done, right? So not only in this case, if let's suppose you're migrating in one company, you have different systems, or you have different levels in which you send the data. So in order to receive and send the data, you can use ETL. We will come in ETL in more detail right now in this conversation in order to explain you business intelligence. So the part which is used inside MSBI to do ETL is called SQL Server Integration Services. Getting into this. And then we do have one more module is called SSRS, and it is used for reporting. Reporting in the sense, guys, what do you mean by reporting? See, reporting is nothing but just an interactive dashboard to understand information or to understand your data. So what do I mean by that? You will be able to, with help of this module, you will be able to able to develop reports. It is called SQL Server Reporting Services. And why it is needed, I will come when I explain this practical explanation. And there is one more module called SSIS which we will be covering, and it is analysis. Analysis, why it is important? Analysis server, why it is important in the sense it is used to improve the performance. The performance which cannot be improved in ETL or reporting or SQL, this would come in those cases and help us improve the performance. How and why? How a practical scenario of how it can improve, we will look into in this demo itself. Not only this, guys, we are also going to look in with SQL, which is very, very, very important for a MSBI developer to carry. Without SQL, yes,
I have one
yes,
question.
Yes, please.
Like why we have like SS for all the three products right at the beginning? Does it mean that SQL Server will be core of these three services?
Correct. You got it right. It's a backbone. It's a backbone to any of these modules.
So in this case, like a reporting service or analysis service, this tool will not be able to deal with Oracle or other database?
No, you got it wrong.
Okay, okay.
SQL is a backbone because all of this, it is into MSBI only. We think it is a database. Yes, it is a database engine. But when you buy SQL full stack license, you're going to get MSBI along with SQL. Getting it?
Okay.
So these two things are very tightly integrated together. What do I mean by tightly integrated? In the sense, in between SQL and your SSIS, there is a predefined adapter set. Okay, so you can easily work on SSIS using SQL. So most of the company, that is the reason why they look an MSBI developer to have SQL skills as well.
Okay.
But it is not that you cannot connect to any other database engine. If that would be the case, I don't think this MSBI would be in this great demand right now. It can connect to any of the database, guys. You have DB2, you have Oracle, you have Sybase, you have CRM Salesforce. Okay, you have Hive from Hadoop. So any database you take, irrespective of the database, it can extract or load. But the data warehouse which is developed in MSBI is 90% is SQL Server.
So it means like it can read the data from all the other sources, but the destination will be SQL.
No, it can also send the data to any of the data source.
Okay.
But most of the cases we see SQL as the destination. Most of the cases, because of the reason the data warehouse is developed on SQL only. Most of the cases, because of the reason this SQL works very flexible with all of the modules. Here. Alright, guys. So I like asking questions, listening to questions. Yes, Peter.
No, sorry.
Alright. So this is how SQL is basically a database, guys. So people who don't understand IT, let me tell them the basic concept. SQL is a database. What is a database? Database is a place where data is going to get reside. Okay. So we are storing at one place the whole data. Whatever you, let's say for an example, Facebook is there, right? So every one of us, I hope and I believe that we all have Facebook account. So where are our details actually getting stored? Is it just on a web application? No, boss. Web application just is an interaction to your Facebook. Basically, it is an interaction to backend database. there will be some database at the back end which will help Facebook to get interaction and which will provide the information. That said, any customer who is new to Facebook, when he is creating his account, each and every detail is going to load into the backend database. And when he is opening his account, he need to get the data from the backend database to the application and he will be able to view. So any company you see retail, you see marketing, you see banking, you see insurance, you see health, any company you work with, databases is very important for any company to have, because without databases I don't think that company is basically at least a small company needs database to maintain their information. Okay, so now you got to know what is a database and why is the use of the database. Right, now when you buy a SQL Server full stack license, they are giving you the whole MSBI module. So that is the another major reason why it is in high demand, because company at the end of the day also look at the budget. See, there are a lot of other ETLs in the market like Informatica, Ab Initio, Data Stage is one of the other ETL. Many ETLs, right? BizTalk is also an ETL. Alright. Now so these ETLs, they basically don't have any databases tied up. So if I as a company want to implement a solution for my company, first I need to buy a database. Let's say I have bought DB2. On top of DB2, if I need an ETL, I need to buy any of it, right? Let's say Informatica. And on top of it, I need to have some reporting. Let's say I have bought Cognos. So what is the cost? DB2 plus Informatica plus Cognos. So it is very high when compared to your SQL. You just have to buy SQL. All the modules are coming along with SQL Server into your working area. So no need to buy separately SSIS nor SSRS nor analysis service. Getting it, guys? So this is the another major reason why this is heavily implemented overall the world. So let me show you a quick example. Where does it provides an intelligence? So let's say for an example, this is a retail shop. Oh, sorry, this is US. Let's say this is a US market, and in there you have lots of, let's say, heritages. Okay, heritage. Now let's say for an example, there are 50 heritages implemented overall US. Okay, so now each heritage, there are about 10,000 products getting sold per day. Possible? Quite possible, right or not? 10,000 products getting sold per day. So how about 50 heritages? 5 lakhs. Am I right? 50 heritages, 5 lakhs product getting sold just in one day in US. Now see, if you have visited any of the heritage in US or in Australia, any of the retail marts, they are basically taking your information as well, and they are uploading it in one sheet. Let's say for an example, Excel sheet. Okay, they are uploading in Excel sheet. Now each heritage is having 10,000 records in their Excel sheet. What does that sheet talks about? It talks about so and so product got sold for so and so customer with so and so price. Right? Now let's say for an example, the business owner, whoever is the business owner of heritage, wants to understand, boss, for today, how much of sales happened? How much of sales happened for today? So will he go and look for each and every Excel sheet sales amount? Very difficult. Very difficult even to manage these Excel sheets. Where do you manage? Where do you keep? Where do you store them? How is the security provided to these Excel sheets so that no other user can view it? It's your information. Why do others use it? Why do others view it? So you want to keep it very much secure. So how, when you talk about a file systems, how it is secure? So first thing is security is gone. Second thing is, if you want to analyze a product based, or let's say just sales amounts for today, your analysis is gone because of the reason, okay, one analysis of sales amount, one analysis is, let's say, product number B. So overall, product number B, what is the sales amount? There are products A to Z got sold. So B might got sold 10 times in one shop. Same is the case here, 20 times maybe, here 40 times maybe, here again 10 times. So if I want to understand, do I need to open each and every Excel sheet and check what is the sales amount? Next analysis is gone. If I want to view the data in an interactive format, it also gone. Because you don't see any interaction between all of the multiple sheets into one sheet. And you cannot see the dashboard what you are expecting. Right? So these many problems are there for a business to understand their own business and make the decisions. Decision making is very important for a business. For example, let's say product number D is not sold in this branch in US for a long time. Now time have came after 3 months, you are buying products and you are again keeping it into your stores. So would you not check the products which are not sold so that I don't buy those products? Is it improving your business or not? Yes, it is, because the products which are not sold, why will you buy those products? And one more analysis. Let's say the products are very highly sold in this branch. Instead of buying it, why don't you move it to this branch? So this is what analysis will help us on in terms of business improvement. So to make sure we have this kind of analysis well defined, what we do is, so what we give the solution. How should be the solution? Let me show you. And this was implemented for heritage only, the project, whatever I'm just showing you very basic concept of it, just telling you very, just going into practical so that you have a practical understanding where exactly this business intelligence fits in and helps the business, and why basically these MSBI developers are paid this high. Okay, so I just wanted to explain you that. So what we have given is, boss, okay, what you do is, you go ahead and store end of the business day, you store all of your files into one shared location. I hope everyone understand what is a shared location, right guys? Shared location or FTP location, in the sense where anyone can, I mean not anyone, but a server created which is shared server between few users. So let's say all of the branches are given access to write the files into this. So what we have told them is, okay boss, go ahead and end of your business working days, let's say end of the business day, let's say 10 PM in the evening, when you, before you close your shops, just send the files into one location, and we have given them the location name. So what all of them did is, they have send the files into their respective locations, which is the same location. Now what we did is, we have configured this server into our SSIS. So what is this SSIS doing? This is basically looping each and every file, reading the information from this file and loading it in our SQL server. Getting it, guys? So what it is doing, It is reading all of the files. We have different logics here which we can develop, and SSIS is purely GUI. I mean, it is purely a drag and drop. Okay, let me keep it in this way. Drag and drop, where you can just drag the icons what you need to use, and you can place it, and you can improve whatever you want to develop. You can develop. Okay, and for looping, you have one more icon called for each loop icon. You will keep it in there. So we will see these concepts when we come in SSIS. But for now, just understand it is purely a drag and drop. Yes, SQL is needed back of it. What limit of SQL is needed? I will walk you through advanced level as well. So now you have extracted all of the files and loaded into your SQL. Purpose of loading in SQL is very important. Because in SQL, that is why I have told you, in SQL, just with one select statement, one line of select statement, you will be able to get whatever the business need is. For an example, you want to get total sales amount. Just one select statement is enough to get the information. We want to get sales amount based on products, product wise sales amount. Just with one select statement, you will get all the information. So that is why integrating the file system into your SQL is very, very, very important, or any database is very important in order to understand what is the data. Because SQL is a querying language which most of you might not be familiar with. So in our classes, since we will be going with the basics level, you will get the very good familiarity as well as very good practice assignments as well as practical scenarios in SQL as well. Getting it? So with select statements, you may achieve whatever the business requirement. Now, for an example, you have achieved the business requirement. Now you want to give access to this information to the business. So do you really think business will look this as table? No, they need it. You know, everything should be automated, boss. What do you mean by automated is, I don't want to tell you the requirement again and I'll just post the requirement, read the requirement, go ahead and develop the package and automate it. What do I mean by automate? I will come to that. See, this is a table, but table is a very long list. I don't want to go with table. I just want to have interactive interaction with my database. How do I have? Is using this SQL again is connected with another module called SSRS. So whatever information you load into your SQL can be viewed in SSRS. Getting it, guys? Can be viewed in SSRS. So with that said, SSRS you can develop if you want. If you want, you can develop charts which will represent the sales amount like this. Different diagrams in which it will represent different gauges, in which it will represent the scaling based reports, different interactive reports, different cascading reports, different drill through drill down reports, different 3D reports as well. And you don't have to do hell lot of coding for this. Everything is drag and drop again. That is why it is good for developers as well, that you don't do a lot of coding, you just drag and drop things, logically you work on it. So those kind of logical scenarios we will see in our classes. So now you have generated this report. So what I will do is, after generating this report, I would go ahead and basically give it to the business in an email format. So this is called subscription, email format or a shared location. So that business is going to look at the report. Let's say for an email. Okay, this is an email, let's say. So what are we going to do? We are going to just automate this in an email. Getting it, guys? So this report is automatically sent to an email, and this is scheduled also. You don't have to, once you schedule it, you again don't need to interfere and do the changes. Not needed at all. Once you implement this, see, everything is how manual it is and how automated it is. So, I as a business user, I will just check my emails, what is happening with my products, right or not? And I will get the whole analysis. So this is where SSRS will come in. Now SSIS, where does SSIS comes in and how does it helps us? See, SSIS, when you basically work on SSRS, right? So you are extracting it from SQL. Now let's say for an example, you are triggering in real time. What happens? Some cases, very few cases. That is why SSIS is just 30% asked when compared to SSIS and SSRS. SSIS and SSRS are asked about 70 to 80% of the time. So my suggestion would be go with SSRS, have a good training on SSIS, and keep an exposure on SSIS. See, on SSIS, what happens is it is used to improve the performance of the query. For an example, I am triggering a select statement and I am getting a response into SSRS maybe in 1 hour of time because of heavy data. Trillions of records are there. In order to extract those records, it is taking about 1 hour of time. So how do I reduce it? I can reduce it in SSIS. So I will show you, I will walk you through all of the techniques and tunings steps in SSIS, not known because this is almost 1 hour. So in SSIS, I'm going to develop a cube which will rather improve my performance. What do we need? What do you mean by cube? What is multi-dimensional storage? What are different storage nodes? What are aggregations? What are calculations, perspective, partitions? Types of improvement tuning techniques we will see in our coming classes on SSIS as well. So once this is done, for an example, let us assume this is giving us in 20 minutes, and yes, it is possible. Within 20 minutes, you can get the information what you were getting it here in one hour. Now, instead of we connecting to SQL, we will connect to SSIS. If this is the case, we will be able to connect to SSIS and give SSRS just in 20 minutes the data, and SSRS is generating the reports. A manual example of SQL and SSIS. How come SQL how come SSIS can improve the performance? Let's say this is a water tank, guys, and this is a water warehouse. I'm loading water into water warehouse, and you have full 100 ml water which is getting loaded into water warehouse. Now this is taking about 1 hour of time. Let's say this is SQL type of loading. Now say you have same situation, same ml, same information getting loaded into your water warehouse, right, from water tank. Now it is also connected, and this is, let's say for an example, SSIS. Okay, this is for an example SSIS. Now, if this is the process carried out, it will also take 1 hour. But in SSIS, we have flexibility to add, for an example, manually few more pipes. So what do you think now? This is called partitioning technique in SSIS. Manually, this is the way how I can explain you without going into technology. But in technically, yes, this technique is there, which is called partitioning technique, which is rather partitioning your data into each pipe and sending it. So 4 pipes are carrying your water at the same time and pushing it into water warehouse. Now what do you think? Will it take 1 hour? Obviously not. It might take 20 or less than that. So these kind of techniques can be improved in SSIS, and hence the result can be achieved. But SSIS is not asked that high when compared to SSIS. Keep in mind, SSIS or SSRS. Now this is all about where MSBI comes in and helps the business, and these are all the tools related to it. Now my question or your question may be, Yusuf, do I need to actually hold all of these skills, goodness, all of these skills to be just a MSBI developer? No, not needed. The market overall, the world I'm talking about, not in India, not in US, not in Australia, overall wherever you go, requirements are in this way: SQL, SSIS, SQL, SSRS, SQL, SSAS, SQL, SSIS, SSRS. So most of the requirement, when you check, the requirements would be, they would be asking for an ETL MSBI developer. That means they are expecting these two skills heavily, and this is about 80% asked. For sure, you can check. And you have, I have checked it personally in DICE and Career Builder. It is 1,600 jobs overall in US, or maybe more than that. I'm not sure. So in RS is also same when compared to ETL, but it might be 70% of the time. And this position is same position as your ETL position. Most of the cases they will be looking for ETL developer, but when needed implementation in SSRS, they would want you to have SSRS experience as well in the past. So which is very minimum level of experience they are expecting due to implementation. Implementation in the sense already development is there, it's been running for a long time, but business requirement changed a bit. They want some additional features into your report. So to add those additional features, you need to have SSRS experience in the past. So this training session not only gives you that implementation experience, but also scratch development experience as well. SSRS is SSAS is asked about 30% of the time. 30% of the time it is asked. So this is all about our modules, and trust me, with each of the modules, we are going to go with the basic concepts, and then we will look into the advanced concepts. Okay, advanced concepts, and then we will look interview questions, different type of interview questions in each modules. Whenever I am going with practical classes, I will tell you this is going to be an interview question for sure, and 110% you can expect that in it. And then real-time scenario, like where can we use this type of this type of commands, or this type of functions, where exactly can we use those kind of real-time scenario. And this everything is carried out in each of our modules. But SSIS, I am going to also give a real-time project with error handling framework. I'm telling you, if you are catching the level of project which I am showing, then you are good to start up any real-time project, because it contains lot of conditions, lot of validations, lot of scrubbing, lot of business logics. By when you catch up the speed, you cover the advanced concepts, real-time scenario. Only after that I am going to cover these things, because this is very high advanced. Getting it? And it is going to take minimum 2 hours for me to explain this project. We will have it in weekend. So this is how we are going to go. And if you want to check the syllabus, and if you want to know about me, you have you will get this module if you want. And I have worked for clients in US as well, and they're in Atlanta, Georgia, in downtown, especially for Suntrust Bank, as well as Home Depot. And there is a client called Bristol Solutions in Alpharetta, Georgia, which I have supported. And Verizon, yes, I have been supporting Verizon as well as Microsoft directly. Right. And you know, there are a lot of clients I did not mention because I don't thought you know, there is a need of mentioning all the different clients' names which I have supported or provided the solutions. And these are the things, and in SQL we will be covering. So all of these concepts will be covered. See, database overview, starting from the basics, very basic level. What is a data type? What are columns? How data is stored? You know, we will have a very general and a common discussion, and then we will carry further with each of the modules. So this is all about SQL, guys. So you know, most you might see, you might don't see all of these topics in real time, but yes, I want to give all of these topics because of the reason you don't know what you use. Basically, maybe some of the other may help you. So this is all about SSIS, guys. See this, these many topics we are going to cover, and then a real-time project. So we are going to
one question, Piyush Desai.
Yes, who is this?
Yeah, Piyush.
Piyush, yes, Piyush.
Yeah. So when you say, you know, that a real-time project for SSIS, so do you mean that only for SSIS, or will that, you know, when you say real-time project, what will it be like? You know, starting from scratch kind of stuff, that this is the client's requirement and this is what
Correct.
they need.
Starting from
right?
scratch, the business
Okay.
requirement, and how are we going to achieve it. I will give you an overall scenario, only then I will start developing. Step by step you will be understanding it. What is the need of this task? That is why I have told you, after only completing the whole SSIS advanced concepts, I will go through, because to understand the business you need to understand first the logics.
No, that's fine, but I'm saying that will that be only for SSIS, or will that cover SSRS or AS
See,
also?
no, SSIS, it is only for SSIS because of the reason SSRS, there is nothing like project in SSRS.
Okay.
Because, okay, when you come into the technologies, you will get to know. See, in SSRS, it is like just they will give you this reports I need, and you have to develop those reports. That is it. That is all about project in SSRS. Separately, you don't have anything in SSRS to do.
Okay.
Getting it? You just have to develop the reports, and all of the different type of reports we will be covering in SSRS module itself with real-time scenario. That means different type of what the client is looking for. Let's say client is looking for this kind of reports. How do we develop it? Most of the cases, I mean, I don't see till now that something called project will not be there in SSRS. That is your requirement, and you have to accomplish it within given time. Then in SSIS, it will be all, it will be all in one framework. How do you basically get the information? What are your next steps? And how do you develop the error handling? Have you ever heard about error handling?
Yes, I have just heard the name, but I'm not sure about the
So different. I mean, you will come to know once we start the classes.
I know.
And I mean, you guys will be satisfied. Do not worry about anything.
Okay.